The combine is on its way, and the Justin Field trade talks have continued to circulate. But there's some things that have came out lately that got us questioning: is the trade market changing for Justin Fields? And it's Saturday, so you know the episode is centered around y'all. It's voicemail day. It's mailbag day. Let's get into it, talk about it, and break it down right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Chicago Bears Central. Early on a Saturday morning, the sun ain't even out because we got pieces to play and people to see. And my mom Reefa voice, you already know. C-Dubb, how you feeling, man?
And I'm feeling great, man. What's up, y'all, man? We getting closer and closer, man. Damn.
But hey, if you're tuning in with us today, make sure you follow the show on all social media platforms that we happen to be on at Shot Bears Central, your number one spot for all Chicago Bears. Now, C-Dubb, we know the draft is going on. It's been a lot of things said by the quarterbacks these last few days. Some things said in regards to some other positions as well. But one thing that kind of grabbed my attention is what is being said about Justin Fields. Now, early on, we already kind of know that it's been put out there that if the Bears do decide to trade, that there are some teams that might be interested in Justin Fields. That's the Falcons, the Steelers, and the Raiders. But there's been some talk, that has came out. You know what I'm saying? It's been rumored that the Falcons lately are more interested in Kirk Cousins than Justin Fields, but they are a little bit interested. Then the Steelers GM, Omar Khan, came out and said he has an obligation to take a look at every avenue, but he has full faith in Kenny Pickett. In the Raiders, they haven't really said much, but head coach Antonio Pierce pretty much said that he's looking for someone who's been battle tested, that has been through adversity, had challenges, and wasn't just handed the keys. Sounds very familiar for a guy that we know, C-Dubb. But hey, is those quotes coming from those teams that were interested in Justin Fields, do you think that's changing his trade market? Because it was first thought that Justin Fields can be traded for a second or a third. And then we heard some analysts even come out and say they could possibly get a first, which was crazy to me. How you looking at all this?
I'm looking like ain't nothing changed with Justin Fields. It is what it is. It sounds like posturing. This is the time in the NFL offseason to posture before we start getting those big moves and the dominoes fall where they may. Everybody's trying to get leverage for their particular team. You ain't just out there trying to give stuff away. You want to get the best advantage you can get. So you will come out and say, man, we like a Kenny Pickett over Justin Fields, which is fucking crazy. Where Antonio Pierce sounds like a Justin Fields guy to me. And the Steelers, come on, please. That's definitely Justin Fields can fit over there. But I appreciate that because I'd much rather keep him here in Chicago. Okay, I appreciate that. But I think it's just nothing but posturing, nephew.
Yeah, I think that right now everything is going to be pushed out and said just so if you are going to be traded for this guy, you don't want to give up a lot of capital. So you know what I'm saying? If Ryan Poles, when they got on the phone with him and Ryan Poles is like, I want a second round pick, they're going to put fillers out there and be like, yeah, it's not many guys interested in Justin Fields. Take this 4th round pick. Take this 5th round pick. So it's like when you go to the dealership, you know it's a nice ass car that you're looking at. The price on the car says $32,000, but you gonna definitely try to get it for 28. You gonna be like, man, look, you gonna go and talk to the salesman or saleswoman and be like, bro, it's a car down the street. They selling theirs for $29K. You got yours for 32. You gonna give me the car for $29K or 28? You know what I'm saying? So it's just that like negotiation type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to go and purchase your first house for $400K when you can go in and talk to the seller and be like, hey, I want you want to sell it for $325, $350. You're going to try to save that bread. So these teams are going to go out here and try to save that draft capital. That's just how I look at it. But, we just got to wait to see what happens, bro. But I can't believe that it's that many teams in need of a quarterback that's not willing to give up something.
Oh, bro. Yeah, it's just posturing. And I love the way you said that because definitely when you try to do a bargain, your voice going to change. You're going to get a little squeaky. You ain't gonna go for the fuck. You ain't going. What's up? You know what I'm saying? I
You
love
know?
that. That's some
You know?
Chicago. That's some Chicago shit for you. You know what I'm
For
saying? So
real.
yeah.
You know, like back in the day when you meet dude at the schoolyard and be like, hey, I know you want a sawbuck, but I got 8.
I got 8.
You know I gotta get the stuff to put. You know I gotta get something to put it in.
All
I got 8. I got 8. If you know, you know, y'all. If you know, you know.
that pack do cost like 180 or something, like
You
$2
feel
back
me?
in the day.
You feel me? Come on now. You gonna do anything to bargain and get that for the low.
Niggas ain't eat no lunch.
For real. But the last question before we get into the mailbag, do you think there is a possibility that if the Bears go that route, that they might have to settle for less? Say if it's the second round is what Ryan Poles is expecting, but teams are just not backing off, but you made your decision and you have to settle for a third or a fourth. Do you think that's a possibility?
That's why I think, yeah, if they back themselves into a corner, if you do release Justin Fields, let me knock on wood real quick. If you trade Justin Fields, let me knock on wood real quick. If you trade Justin Fields, you got to do it right away because you lose all leverage if you wait to the last minute. So a decision needs to be made on Justin Fields sooner than later. And you are right. If it wait too late, you're definitely gonna have to take what you can get because you definitely can't have a rookie quarterback and Justin Fields on the same team. So yes.
Facts. Well said. But hey, that's it from us. Now it's time to jump into the meat and potatoes of this episode. The mailbag, the calls that you guys have placed in and left your thoughts over the lines, and we are now here to react to it. C-Dubb, this first person up, is the first lady of Chicago Bears Central,
Shay Shay.
Miss Taylor.
Shay.
Here it is.
Hey, CDC, Kings, and family. This First Lady, Cash A. I am calling because, just like everybody else, I am tired of the quarterback stuff. I really am. I just wish they go and make this decision ASAP. I want to know why people are not asking the question as of like last year, what happened with the Bryce Young thing? I mean, we're in the same position, so what is the difference between Caleb and Bryce? What made them pass on Bryce Young, and what makes Khalid Williams was his name, right? What makes him a better prospect than Bryce Young? Because evidently that's what people are thinking, as well as saying, "Oh, he is the top person from a few years as far as quarterbacks are concerned." So I want to know the difference. How did that weigh? Why everybody was still choosing Bryce Young over Justin last year. However, now it's more like, but we didn't choose Bryce Young. Everybody was like, give him another chance. The decision was to give him another chance. However, he still had a better year. I also looked at one of our old, one of your old videos. It was like right before and when everybody was giving, what they thought that the season was going to bring. And everybody was like, oh, it's going to be 10-7. Oh, it's going to be 7-10. Oh, it's going to be whatever it was going to be. And I was just reading the comments, listening to you all. And I was like, that is so interesting. I should do a segment about this because I think it's one of the times I had first talked on there, and it was like under the unique we had drafted unique, pay unique. So yeah, I wanted to see how y'all felt about first and how y'all thought then how our defense was going to be, and eventually we end up getting there, compared to what the season really ended up to be. Other than that, Chicago up, Bear down.
All right. Miss Taylor came through and graced the channel. C-Dubb, take it away.
Shout out to the first lady, 1900 Shay Shay. We appreciate your commentary every time you comment. You are right, man. This is sort of the same situation that we had last year when it comes to the quarterback. Everybody had the same idea with Bryce Young. They was clamoring for us to trade Justin and pick up Bryce Young. But I do think in this effect with Caleb Williams, in the reverse, dude is a little bit better than Bryce Young. I'ma just be honest. He is, especially off script. He's just a better arm. He's just a better player than Bryce Young, with better talent. But I still hold my stance and stand on my toes and say that you keep Justin Fields. And if it comes to that revisionist history, when we made those predictions before the season, it actually did come true at the end, even though record wise it didn't get to. I think I had 11-6, 10-7, or something like that. I think we lost a lot of games that could have propelled us somewhere near that. I think we easily could have been 10-7 this season, if it wasn't for Lukey Dookie and other things from Matt Eberflus and stuff like that, and some of the plays from the players as well. Everybody, the whole team. So yeah, that's a good idea. We're gonna do some predicting the season. We're gonna look back at that. That's a great idea, Shay.
For sure. I look at the Bryce Young versus the Caleb Williams thing. You got to look at the schools. Alabama is known for getting the best players from the nation to come to their schools. That's why it makes it a little bit easier. When you look at Caleb Williams, I'm going to side with C-Dubb and say he was definitely more talented. He's bigger. I believe he's better in the pocket. I believe he's better off script, just overall more talented. Will he be the better quarterback in the NFL? That's still to be determined because Bryce Young was placed in a horrible situation, which why we always preach, hey, coaching matters, situations matter. But nonetheless, I think that right now the hype and the question comes to, and the stuff is ringing louder for Caleb Williams is because the Chicago Bears, you do still have questions at Justin Fields. Or you also have questions at Caleb Williams. And I also think that now you moved on from that rebuilding stage in year 2 last year with Bryce Young to moving on to year 3 and saying, hey, we got to win some damn ball games now. So who gives us the best chance? Last year was to go ahead and gather the hall and build the infrastructure. Now it's to make sure that that foundation is laid, and now we can start laying the wood. That's what she said. But hey,
Shout out to the first lady, man. What up? What up?
but hey, this next one, C-Dubb, is from Big O.
Big Oski.
This is Big O. Hey guys, this will be my second off season following you guys. And I don't know where I've been not to have been following you guys sooner. I don't know. I must have been on Krypton or somewhere. But I just stopped following on social media all these non-official Bears fan sites and pages because it's got out of hand. People are developing cardiac problems, chest pain, and having strokes and developing psychiatric problems. And if the Bears keep Justin, we're going to lose a whole bunch of Bears fans. So, gentlemen, I really appreciate you all. I'm for Justin Fields, but if Ryan goes a different way, I'll be upset. But life of a Bears fan in Chicago, life goes on. So Chicago up and Bear down. I'm glad to have found you guys. So peace and have a good year, a good off season. Have a good day.
All right, Big O, you must be one smooth mofo. I ain't gonna
Yes,
lie.
he is,
Smooth
boy.
as hell. What?
Teddy P.
But shout
Teddy
out,
P in this bitch.
shout out to you for calling in. And I say you are absolutely right. Life goes on, bro. Sometimes those things that we want in life don't always happen, but
Mhm.
life goes on. Everybody know we come from the city of Chicago, whether we still live there or not. We know you gotta be one tough mofo to make it through the city and the streets of the inner city of Chicago.
You
But
better
it's
listen in
all
the
right,
back.
bruh. Hey,
You better
hey,
listen.
hey, I'm definitely happy that you came down from Krypton, came back down to Earth, and found out about us. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
bro.
I think that a lot of people get it twisted when you have these discussions like, oh, you're turning on ga. No, we're having a simple discussion because we don't make the decisions. We are the fans.
Yeah.
But that's why we established this. That's why me, C-Dubb Hayes, brought this idea together and made it happen and brought on Kev and Steve-O, our family. That's we family.
Yeah,
Because we
bro.
wanted to bring the tough discussions and not be biased. We can have our biases, but we got to keep it real. And that's what you've seen all offseason. That's what you've seen since the first episode of Chicago Bears Central. And that's what you will continue to see for years to come. Go ahead, man.
Oh, beautifully said, man. And to those people, Big O, straight up, great commentary. Y'all better be able to pick up what he's saying right there. If you gonna leave, if we have Justin Fields as the quarterback or Caleb Williams, you were never a Bears fan. That's basically what he's saying. So you can
I'm
be
with him.
mad, you can be mad with any choice that we had, but still know you gonna ride or die with the Bears. It's about the Bears. It ain't really about you can got your favorite. You can have your favorite Justin Fields like me. But if we go with Caleb, it is what it is. I'm gonna be pissed for sure. But what? I'm gonna stop being a Bears fan? You crazy?
On the
Let's
real.
go.
Are you crazy? But shout out to you, Big O. Thanks for calling in. C-Dubb. Next up, we got Jay from San Diego.
San
What's
Diego.
going on, gentlemen? It's your boy Jay calling from San Diego. I didn't really call in for a question. I just had to make a quick statement because it is something that I believe is needed for us Bears fans. We are going back and forth with each other and the media and everybody else out there about the differences between Justin Fields and Caleb Williams. Why don't we just support the general manager? We sitting out here bashing Justin Fields. We sitting here bashing Caleb Williams, and we don't even know which one of them gonna be the QB. My stance, personally, I would love for Justin Fields to stay, but I'm gonna definitely support Caleb Williams if he gets here. And this is why we got a quarterback curse in Chicago now, because y'all sitting here bashing his name, and he comes here, and next thing you know, he sees all of these reports. You think this show don't get reach? You think it ain't one person that has any type of clout inside that Chicago Bears office and that's PR or anything ain't watching the show, ain't listening to the show? I found it scrolling a couple or whenever I came through, just looking on YouTube. So y'all got to start with the bashing. I don't care if it's Caleb Williams. I don't care if it's Bo Nix. I don't care if it's Justin Fields, whoever it is. Man, we need to show support for our quarterbacks. We need to show support for our players. Because if they get here and we do to Caleb Williams what we did to Mitch Trubisky, what we are now doing to Justin Fields, we ain't going to never have no good quarterback. Ain't nobody going to want to come play here. I would love to have Caleb Williams here. Don't get me wrong. But I would love to have all those draft picks a lot more. But for what it's worth, I think Caleb Williams is going to be a great quarterback. I think Justin Fields could be a great quarterback. And I'm just ready for this team to turn it around. And I hope y'all ready for the same and change y'all trajectory and y'all mindset to start believing in these players and start supporting these players instead of bashing them because your opinion wants to be favored, man. Chicago up, bear down.
And Jay, let
Damn.
it be known.
Oh,
C-Dubb,
bro.
take it away.
It sounded like he was getting on our ass, talking about don't be dissing Caleb, bro. I mean, look, man, look, like you could see the last voicemail on how I think about the situation. I am a pro Justin Fields guy, but you know I'm a ride with whoever's the quarterback next season, and I get to roast whoever I want, Jay. Whoever I want. But Chicago will bear down. I feel you though. He shows some great emotion in that, and I think he really means, and he's standing on that. That's a good comment that he just made right there. But I'm a roast who I want. Oh,
Hey,
God.
he absolutely right though. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like this divide amongst the fan base is ridiculous. Hence why
yeah.
nobody really wants to talk about it
No,
anymore.
they
Everybody's
definitely
fed
don't.
up. And I feel him though. That's why we, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be a Caleb versus Justin thing. It's who's the
Oh, it's
best
not.
guy for the job.
Hmm.
That's all that really matters. And again, the decision doesn't come down to us. You know what I'm
It don't.
saying? So this is what I'm gonna say. Temper your expectations and prepare.
Propel.
That's it. Because
Well,
if the decision is not in your favor, remember first and foremost, you represent the C's on your shirts or the Bears on your hat or your shirt.
Oh,
That's
bro.
it. Yeah, hope that the decision is for the best. That's it. And people could talk smack about Caleb Williams. I gotta say this. Who gives a shit if Caleb Williams doesn't give his medical stuff to people, to the teams that won't even have a chance to draft him? Who
Yeah,
cares?
that's crazy, bro.
Did y'all bat an eye when Deion Sanders refused to go work out and interview for other teams during his time? I'm not saying that they on the same echelon as players, but did you give a shit? He said no. Deion Sanders said you are too far down the draft. I know I'm gonna be picked before I get to you. This Caleb Williams can feel the same way. I don't care about the him only giving medical to the team he believes is going to draft him, which is the top 3 teams. I don't give a shit about nothing else.
Yep.
I just had to say that.
Yeah, good shit, nephew. Be prepared though. I love that Lion King shit. Be prepared, bro.
For sure. And the last voicemail of the day comes from our guy, Darius from Dallas, representing the Bears.
D-Thing.
He talking about D-Thing.
What's going on, guys? Darius from Dallas here. I came to the realization, man, that I think that Justin Fields is going to be leaving us. As bad as we don't want it, I think he's going to be leaving us. Here's why. And because of no weird-ass shit that David Kaplan said or any other bullshit reporter out of Chicago, they're all fucking terrible. It's not because of anything that they got to say. It's just simply I'm just looking at it from a management perspective. I've had jobs where I've been in management. And, one thing that you do when you're in management is when you find something that works or that has worked and you've got the chance to experience it firsthand, let's say if you at your previous place of employment, you found something that really worked, you're going to try to bring that and you're going to try to implement that at the next management position that you get. That's just naturally what human beings do, men in leadership, just basically what they do. Now, he got to see firsthand how drafting a guy like Mahomes, letting him sit for a year, benefited that organization. And I think that he's probably going to do the same thing. I think that he's going to go ahead and trade Justin. I think he's going to go ahead and, unfortunately, draft Caleb Williams. But if we're going to do that, I'm cool with him sitting a year. I think he's going to have him sit a year, and what he's going to do is he's going to go find his Alex Smith, whether it be Kirk Cousins or, I don't know what Geno Smith's contract looks like, but it'd be great to get him over there to be that bridge quarterback. He's going to find somebody, man, that can fill the gap for like a year, maybe a year and a half or two. And I think he's going to draft Caleb Williams only because that is what he experienced when he was at Kansas City and he was aspiring to be a GM. He got to see how that process works firsthand. So I wouldn't blame him if he's leaning on his experience from what he went through in KC to try to replicate that here. Do I think we need to draft Caleb? No, I prefer to have Justin Fields, but just going on basis from a management perspective, that's what I expect him to do, man. So let me know what y'all think about that and text us up and I'm gonna bear down.
You already know. Shout out to you, Darius. Yeah. Definitely been putting out some good takes, man.
Awesome
take. Bro, I just think that it's fair. Like the way that you look at Ryan Poles, you say, hey, he sat in KC. Ian Cunningham sat with the Eagles, so they know what championship teams need. And you seen that, hey, the comparisons for Caleb Williams, though I think it is fair, you know that's what's been rumbling. Caleb Williams is Patrick Mahomes 2.0. Even though I think it's unfair to compare him to Patrick Mahomes, it's out there. But we just got to live with what it is and just wait to see what happens. So I'm with you on that. And then the last thing, I think that what I asked for the last time we went live, I said I hope that no matter what happens, Ryan Poles does Justin Fields a solid for putting him through this shit. And what did Ryan Poles say in one of his last press conferences? We want to make sure we do right by Justin Fields. So, hey, anything can happen. We just hope that me personally, my personal wish is if you trade him, ask Justin where he wants to go and see if that team is willing to give you the deal that you want to satisfy the needs of the organization, and then you still look out for Justin Fields. Obviously, it's not going to always work like that, but that's just one of my wishes. If you're going to get rid of Justin Fields, just treat him well, bro.
Yeah, that's a good ass take, my man Darius D-Thing. As much as I hate it, bro, it's just a fabulous take, and you could just Just take for example, like a baby cub, like a lion cub. They gonna learn everything from the mother lion or whoever they teach them everything, and they gonna go through life with all the lessons learned from that parent lion, from the mother lioness. So it makes sense, bro. He sat there and learned from whoever that was in the front office. You said Ian Cunningham. Is that who you said,
Mm-hmm.
nephew?
Ryan Post, Ian
So
Cunningham.
so
Yep.
so it makes sense just to copy what you learned while you were sitting there being a protege. So I hope that you're wrong. It makes perfectly good sense, and you just made me sad for the rest of the night.
C-Dubb will be all right, y'all. It's okay.
Well,
But hey, before we get out of here, we got a text message. I don't know if this is your name, but Strictly Stepper. I don't know if that's your name, but you didn't leave your name, but that's how you ended your text message. Strictly Stepper. But C-Dubb, he said Marvin Harrison Jr. will be why Pose lose his job. Not drafting the best player in a draft with picks will be insane and stupid. Bear down, Strictly Stepper. So I assume his name is Strictly Stepper. What you
right
got
to
to
the
say
point.
about that?
Right to
That
the
text
point.
message.
I don't know if it'll make Ryan Poles lose his job, but I do agree with the strategy. We should be trying to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and trading down and get more assets. I don't know if it's gonna be his job or not, but you on the right path with that one on, bro. I can't even lie.
Me personally, I don't think Ryan Poles loses his job if he don't select Marvin Harrison Jr. And here's why. Because if you draft, let's just say for the sake of discussion, you draft yourself for Caleb Williams and you go find you an offensive tackle, and both of those players turn out to be Pro Bowlers, it's a win. If both of them, you know what I'm saying, if you go out and get an offensive lineman and defensive lineman, and both of those become all pro players, it's still a win. Maybe we don't know if those guys will be Hall of Famers, but it's still a win, and it's still a check mark in that good column of those good moves that Ryan Poles did versus, you know what I'm saying this is the absolute guy. I think it comes down to more than just one player, bro. I think it comes down to, can you continue to build this team? Can Marvin Harrison absolutely change the team? I believe he can, but he is not the only good wide receiver in this draft, and you never know what could happen with these NFL players.
Yeah.
This is a physical sport. I'm not putting no pressure on nobody, but it's a physical sport, and you should always be prepared for the worst.
Yeah, and all these 3 drafts that he's had, this is gonna be the highest chance of failure right here. I think he can screw up a lot in this draft if he don't
Oh,
make the right move. You could think in all the drafts, this is the most crucial right here because it's time for the Bears to start winning. Rebuild. I'm tired of hearing rebuild. It's time to move on to let's start winning games and get to the playoffs. So I think this is his most crucial and the highest chance of failure draft he has since he be in Chicago.
I think that's fair. Can't even knock it. But hey, that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. C-Dubb, you got anything left?
No, man, let's just hurry up and get the decision over with. That's all I'm asking for. That's it.
Hey, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of Chicago Bears Central. If you got any feedback, comments, questions, concerns, make sure you hit us up at shybearcentral@gmail.com. If you want to call in and be a part of an episode like this, the Mailbag episode, and leave your thoughts and have us or Hayes or all of us together go ahead and react to your take and your thoughts, go ahead and call in 773-242-9336. This is the #1 spot for all Chicago Bears news and updates. And as we gonna end it, we gonna say Chi-Town up and bear down, baby. And my Marifa us our voice. Peace.
Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.